So, good afternoon, everyone. Today we gather here to discuss about the case why fast computers slow down. So, think when you working on a model, that will be trained on fast computers, you might face some lagging when you click the mouse, and your system will be freezed, and somehow you try to manage, but it shows error. Right? So we discuss the solution to overcome those problems. So let's start with the children.
So let me explain the user's problem. Firstly, I can understand the user's frustration and user's feelings. That they have expensive hardware, but the computer feels like it is slow and feels like cheap machines. When we look inside the computer, the hardware works properly and the CPU also works strong and properly. But the problem is the memory is full. If the memory is full, then it can't work properly. Also, the buses are like data routes. It feels like data are jammed like a traffic jam, like in the roads. So the computer is not broken. It is just overloaded and not well organized. When the data are full, it can't work properly. The problem is not the hardware. The problem is not. The problem is overloaded and poor organization.
Right. So, Sayed, can you explain what are all the technical problems?
Yes, ma'am. In this technical problem, there is a lot of process goes on the computer. In a computer, the OS manages all the software and hardware. So there is a lot of multiple process happens in one CPU. It may some lagging and stuck issues. Like for multiple process, for example, take 50 Chrome tabs were opened, and they have a lot of child processes, and there's some music player can be running, and maybe AI script were loading and furthering and prompting. So these large type of process, multiple processes are going on. It may this CPU. These all processes are mainly work by CPU that have a problem which process to execute first. It chooses the process like fetch, decode, execute. So which process can be prioritized and do the first task. So it collapses those large type of processes, and it calculates and may get lag. So this type of large number of process getting to execute is called as resource and traffic jam in OS. So we are the problem is making a lot of process, and which process is going to execute first is a problem. So by that we get a lot of error and lagging. So the fast computers are getting lag and slow.
Okay. Yes, so there are so many processes, yes, right? So there will be a parent process and there will be a sub-process that is called child process.
Yes.
So what happened when we close the parent process?
By closing the parent process, the first child process will be terminated because the memory can be saved by that. By terminating the child process, all the process will be terminated, and then the parent process will be terminated.
So by that it goes from
child class to parent class.
When we close the...
Yes.
Now I am going to tell about the solutions. I go with the brainstorming solution. How can the fix? How OS can fix this? Priority scheduling, memory swapping, and some the process termination. Priority scheduling means we tell the OS script scheduling the process. How the AI scheduling the script like a time slice. Then the memory swapping means when we move to the ideal Chrome tabs, it will fastly move to the RAM and the slower to the hard driver to make a room. Then the process termination means the process termination kills the zombie process. It takes it has been finished, but it takes place in the space.
Okay. If we give 100% of the CPU to AI, then the user won't even shake the mouse or open the apps. This will lead to the bad experience or not even acceptable. So we choose the best solution as the preemption. Preemption is a process in which the OS controls the CPU. It does not allow one process to run forever. Instead, it allows multiple processes to take turns. This will improve the efficiency, performance, and also we can retrieve in a speeder way. And also along with this, we use the memory hierarchy. The most important and frequently used data is stored in the registers and caching. So it improves the speed of the process.
Okay. Why don't we have more RAMs instead of managing?
Even we have infinite RAM, the CPU needs scheduling them to decide which process to run one after the other. So management increases the speed of the process.
Right.
And finally, we do the testing process. We used to test and apply all our new rules, and then our AI model will become 50% faster. So now the mouse becomes more smoothly, and the operating system because it has been dispatched into many tasks.
Okay. So, what is the main core part of the CPU? For the mathematical calculation.
It is the arithmetic logic unit, ma'am, because the control unit shows the flow of instructions.
ALU?
Arithmetic logic unit, yeah.
It does the mathematical calculation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, to conclude that, so we need an operating system for managing process, memory and storage efficiently so that we can avoid the system slowdown, right? So fast computer also can slow down if the management is not right? So we need to focus on, OS need to take care of process and memory and storage management. So by managing these all, we can avoid the slowdown process, right? So thank you.
Thank you.